Today, I'm freaking starving. I just had a bunch of caffeine, my stomach is growling, and I want some chili. Let's go make this. Okay, to get started on this chili, we gotta start out with, the name of the dish, chili. So I got 3 different kinds of chilies here. I got New Mexico chilies, Pasilla or Ancho chilies, and Chile de Arbol, which these are really spicy, so I'm gonna use 2 of these. And to do this, what we're supposed to do, I should have did this first. We're gonna de-stem them and try to remove all the seeds on the inside because you don't want to eat that.
So you're trying to get all the seeds out?
Yeah, because they're inedible. You don't really want those, and they kind of will just make little chunky bits in your sauce. You don't want that. Okay. It just makes it easier. I'm gonna go ahead. I need to roast these now. I'm gonna try. I learned this trick of doing them in the microwave.
Here, let me set that.
Instead of toasting them like on a pan or in the oven, you can microwave them for a few seconds like 15 seconds at a time. Flip them over. Apparently this works really well, so we're going to try this out.
Okay.
You can already kind of smell something. Smell it?
I think so.
You don't totally have to do this, but everything I looked at recommended toasting these at first. This is an easy way to do it without having to... Oh, what did I do? Oh, added 30 seconds. Check them another 15 seconds. We don't want to burn them.
You need to do this in a well-ventilated area.
Oh, there they go. There they go. There's some steam and stuff coming up.
I smell it now.
They're getting a little pliable. That's kind of what we want. Yep.
That's why I was sneezing.
Yep, they're getting a little hot. Let's do them another 15 and I'll call it good.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I'm gonna call that good. They're not toasted, but they're soft.
Oh my god.
You'll be alright.
I know, but it's like making my eyes water and I'm coughing. I didn't mean to.
Now take all the peppers. You can break them up if you want. They're kind of hot from the microwave, so I'm just going to throw them in here. And then we're going to rehydrate them. Alright, I'm going to put maybe a cup or 2 cups of water on top, because I'm going to save the water that I put on top of it. And we're going to use it for our sauce.
So this is a water boiler.
Yeah, you put boiling.
Put it on top.
Yeah. I need 2 cups.
Okay, you're just trying to cover them,
Let's do somewhat, yeah. Let's do 3 cups. We would only have to add a cup of water to my thing at the end.
So you're just trying to cover it until they're covered. So.
Yeah. 3 cups is plenty for this amount of peppers.
Okay.
I'd say they're pretty covered pretty well. The water's really hot, so now let's plastic wrap them. I'm just going to do this to keep the steam in. Keep it hot. See?
I see.
Leave that there for 15 or 20 minutes, and then we're going to start on browning off the meat and cutting up the rest of the vegetables that we need. For this, we need to cut up a large to medium-sized onion. And we're going to just do what we always do. Hopefully not cut my fingers off.
I didn't have it today.
I've used it a few times since we filmed too, last time. That had to be fine, because it's going to cook down a lot. We're going to pressure cook this for a long time, so it doesn't have to be perfect, like cut up, because it's going to just break down, basically. Garlic, we need about 4 cloves of that. Just going to cut this up, doesn't have to be super fine, because I just thought about it. We're going to blend this in a blender eventually, so it doesn't matter if it's cut up that well. So, calling that good. I lost some of that. Sweet,
for the
sweet.
grandma.
You gotta pay the toll. Now let's get our meat started. We're gonna do this the easy way. So you could buy this all cut up like stew meat, but I want a very specific cut of meat. Unless your butcher's cool and they'll cut it up for you. I'm not friends with the butcher at Sam's Club, so or butchers. I don't know if they'll even want to do that if I ask. So I just bought a whole chuck roast. I'm just gonna separate this into 3. You can already see it's already kind of separating because it's naturally how it is. The muscles. See, on this channel we go from straight vegan to straight butcher in here. So we do both. So go ahead and get that one out. So if you're a vegetarian vegan, turn the channel.
Actually, don't turn the channel. Turn it over to one of our other videos.
We'll have more. We're gonna have we have both. So carnivore, non-carnivore, do whatever.
Omnivore,
yep.
Herbivore.
You just try to cut this up in somewhat decent sized pieces because we're going to sear it. And I'm going to do 2 pieces at a time. You don't want to cover the entire bottom. We're going to do it in batches because if you put too much meat while you're trying to sear it in the pan, it doesn't sear. It just like boils basically. All the water comes out and it doesn't get what you want. You don't want that. So I'm going to wash my hands, plug the Instant Pot in, get it going, and then we'll continue from there. Now your pressure cooker might have this, but I don't know. The Instant Pot has a saute setting. If I can find it somewhere. You see it? Saute. And it's on normal. I think you can adjust it. Yeah.
There we go. Focus.
Let's put it on less because this thing is. Well, we'll put it on normal, and then just let it go and it'll heat up. Because this thing gets really hot. Like I was impressed. Like I had it. You can actually make it go between not as hot, medium, and then hot. But the hot one, like it'll burn everything. Like I would never cook on that.
Oh.
So I'm gonna put a little oil in the pan. Put some salt on these. Kind of stack those up so I can't salt the other side. I don't want to dirty my hands up again because I just washed them. A little bit of pepper. All right, this is hot now, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and throw our meat in on one side that we put the seasoning on.
Can you get over there and see that, or?
If you want, yeah. Now that I use the hand to touch it, I'm going to use my not as coordinated hand to season the other side. My left hand. I'm just going to let these sear off, get some good brown color on them. And don't be afraid to use a lot of salt like on this meat. We're going to use chicken broth in here. That chicken broth's pretty salty, but like this is a lot of meat. Like you need to put some salt on it. More than you would think. This is kosher salt, so it's not as, it looks like there's a lot of salt, but it's really not. I'm going to take a look. It's not ready yet. If it sticks like that, it's not ready yet. It's like if you can't pull it out, let it sit. Here, I'm going to push it back on. You can see I got extra space in there. You don't want it to all be filled in with meat on the whole entire bottom because see all the steam coming out? That'll get trapped around the meat and it'll just steam it. It won't sear it. So that's why we did this.
Oh.
This is pretty good, I think. It looks like it's going to come out. You can get a little more browner than I did. I would go for a little more than that. It felt like it was more brown than that. See the stuff that's on the side? It didn't brown. It just kind of, it's steaming. See that? But it's sitting there longer. We want some deep, dark brown. I got some more brown on that one, but you could go for even browner. Like get that thing brown. Because that brown is flavor. The more of that, the better. If it starts getting black, I mean, that's all right, but take it, like, stop. Like, flip it over. You don't want it to get dark, like black, but we want some of that color. Right. See that?
No, hold on.
That kind of brown?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Okay.
It's came up to temperature now. I'm gonna do that last side on that one. I think I'm gonna take this one out. Yeah, that's a little better. I'm gonna call these probably good. They're not totally super brown, but they're pretty good. So I got a little bowl here to put them in. I'm gonna cut those up in a minute. We're gonna cut them up into chunks, but we're gonna go ahead and get our next thing started.
Okay.
Next meats, which I'm just throwing it right in here. Now that these are over here, we're gonna let those go. These will make a lot of juice and they're still really hot, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut them up. Yeah, I cut raw meat on this, and this isn't cooked all the way. It's okay. I'm not gonna cut anything else on this cutting board. I'm done using the cutting board after I cut this meat up. So we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna cook this for like 45 minutes at pressure. So it's plenty. So you wanna cut it up in like 1.5 to inch cubes. See, that's totally raw, but we're trying to get that sear. That's what we're going for. Cut them up as big as you want or as small as you want. I'm gonna cut these up just a little smaller. I like kind of like.
This is gonna be the size that they're gonna be at the end.
Yep. Yeah. It'll tear up a little bit like when you take it out. But this is like if you don't do any tearing up after it's done cooking, like taking it out and trying to break it up, it'll be that same size. Because the pressure cooker doesn't agitate when it cooks, so it'll cook down and get really soft, but it won't like break apart like it was boiling.
Just remember that when you're doing a somewhat bite-sized pieces.
Those are pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna throw those back over here in our bowl.
Okay.
check on this. Actually, these are probably ready to flip. Oh yeah, see that color? See that?
Yeah.
That's what we want. It's picking up some stuff that was from the first round of meat that stuck to the bottom. That's what that is, partly, and some of its own browning. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up this next piece now.
I like we're at some sort of like sandwich place and they're like cutting up all you.
Alright. See, about the same size as the other ones. Just go ahead and throw those back in the bowl. All that stuff that's stuck on the bottom, we're going to deglaze that with the onions and our peppers and all this. It's going to be delicious. Let's go ahead and take it out. Let's take it out. I'm just going to put it directly on the cutting board because I got to cut it up in a minute anyways. Alright, those are looking good. We're going to go ahead and throw our onions in now.
Oh, inside of there right now?
Yeah, we're going to put I need a little more oil. I didn't touch, this hand's clean. A little more oil. It's going to pop a lot because this is really, well, not really. It's really hot. So, see, the Instapot's telling us it's hot. This will come out better when we put our pepper juice in here. There we go. We want all that. That's flavor right there. It's not burned. That's good, like char. It has a French name. I can't remember what it is.
Je ne sais quoi.
No, it's not that. That's like a car commercial word. We're still cooking off these onions. We just got them soft. I'm gonna go ahead and dump the garlic in. Let that simmer, not simmer, saute. Let that simmer for, let that saute for like a minute. See the bowl rotates a lot. That's fine. Just get your little towel. Do that so you don't burn your hands. Don't touch the lid. Actually, it's not even hot up here. See, all that stuff's starting to come off now. That's what we want. That's good enough. We're gonna dump in our spices now, which are just half a teaspoon of cinnamon. There. And then we need cumin. Cumin. Hey, look, it doesn't say hot anymore.
Wow.
I guess it changed itself.
That's how that's done.
Yep. And 2 teaspoons of oregano. That's about a little over 1. It's another pinch. Okay, it's about 2 teaspoons of that. And then I stir that in and I mix my peppers in. See what they look like?
Whoa.
They look like totally different. Well, except for that one, but they're soaked now.
What are you going to do with that juice?
We're using it.
Oh.
Alright, this is... Dump all the chilies in there.
Oh, your arm is in the way.
Well, I don't have space. That's 3 chilies.
I don't have 3 arms.
That's our chilies with the 3 cups of water.
And you just leave all the chilies in there when you cook it?
We're gonna blend it. We're gonna blend it up in a minute.
Oh.
We're gonna blend all this up in a minute. I gotta put my chicken broth in now. And my chipotle peppers. Need 2 chipotle peppers.
Okay.
My contacts are gonna hate me later today. All these peppers I've been touching. Yeah, that one's pretty big, but we'll throw it in
So
there.
these are canned what?
Chipotles, and we're gonna put a little bit of the sauce, like a tablespoon or 2 of the sauce in there that it's packed in. They're usually packed in something called Adobo sauce. It's like tomatoes, onions, and spices and stuff.
Okay.
Throw that in there. That's what I was saying. Like, it's gonna be intense. Like my hands, I might have to like soak in them like buttermilk or something when we're done, so I don't ruin my hand like contacts. I need to do chicken broth.
Okay. So what are we doing with chicken broth? We got this.
You're supposed to use chicken broth that you soak your peppers in, but I just use water because I don't know. It's just what I use.
So this is. So you're using like a concentrate.
I'm using concentrate. I like this brand. This brand, all their stocks or broths are really good. I think so. Get that clean.
You can use a bouillon cube or whatever.
Yeah, that works too. You need like, you're supposed to use a quart of water, which is 4 cups. 1 teaspoon of this is a cup of broth. I'm gonna do a tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons.
Okay.
And call that good. Just use your hands, Adam.
Look at you. You look like you got food applesauce all over your fingers.
Delicious food applesauce. A little bit more. I'm gonna do just a little bit more. This stuff is kind of salty, so you may not need to season the broth yet. Like season the chili at the end when we're done, because this stuff is pretty salty normally. Yeah, bring it to a simmer. It's basically simmering already. And then we put it in the food processor.
Yeah, and then you pour. Then you take all that and put it back with your meat into this thing, right?
Yep.
Ah.
Yep. Okay, go ahead and cut this up. It's basically simmering, but it'll be all right if it simmers another minute or 2. It's not going to hurt it. Those are good. They don't. Well, I kind of want smaller pieces. so I don't have to break it up. Call that good. Yeah. Okay. I know in the other videos I don't show myself washing my hands a whole lot, but I'm washing my hands like throughout the whole thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this into the blender without trying to splash it all over my face. Let me add my last cup of water. Let's do half cup. Okay. Because you can't take the water out once you put it in. Well, you can, but you have to simmer it down more. So, put the lid on, turn it on. Is that right?
You gotta flip the back one.
It's the lights on.
Okay.
Oh, there it goes. We got a high power blender, but this will work fine in a normal blender too. This will just, you know, get it a little faster. And that's it. All right, now we're gonna pour it back in our Instant Pot. I'm gonna put it back on saute. You see how liquidy it is now? You don't have to get all the stuff on the side. The stuff that sticks to the side is probably most likely skins anyway, so if you didn't strain it. We're gonna go ahead and put our meat back in now.
Okay.
And we put it on the saute again because we're going to bring it back up to a simmer before we put the lid on, because it'll make it, if you do that, it'll make it where it'll come to pressure faster because it's already hot with the Instant Pot. I don't know. I think it works out better in the end if you do it this way. See, it's simmering pretty well. So, all right, we're going to pop the lid on, hit cancel. Oh yeah, it's freaking out because the lid's on. Put the lid on, and then we're going to put manual mode. Oh, 42, it's already set. All right, that's what we're gonna do. When it comes to pressure, and we'll come back in 40 minutes or whenever it says it starts beeping and it's done, and then we'll turn it off, let the pressure out, and bam. It's been 40 plus, almost 50 minutes on the Instant Pot. When the time goes up, it puts it on keep warm mode, and that tells you how many minutes it's been on keep warm. So you're gonna hit cancel. Turn it off completely.
L means keep warm.
Yeah, I'm going to move it just a little bit because I'm going to let the pressure out. I don't want it to hit the cabinet as much.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to let the pressure out. I'm going to use a utensil so I don't burn my hand. Oh. There we go. Let it go. Pressure's down. The valve went down, so that means we can take the lid off.
It's going down. Look at that.
Keep that water in there. Try not to get it on my stuff.
Good to go.
If you want, yeah. See some of the, oh my God, that smells good. Some of that juice. It's a little more broth water in here than I want. It's still pretty thick though. So, but to solve this, we're gonna add a little bit of masa flour to it. A couple teaspoons of this. It'll help thicken it up and give it some of a corn flavor. It's cornmeal that's been treated with lime.
Okay.
That's what they call it. 3 of those. Let's go ahead and mix that in. Should thicken it up a little bit. And our meat is really tender. It's just shredding when I'm pushing it against the side. It's falling apart. We just want to stir that masa in. You might want to turn it on and simmer it for a few minutes just to thicken it up. It's pretty good, but I want it to be slightly thicker than this. Just depends how thick you want your stuff to be. You could also take some of this meat out and shred it up a lot and then throw it back in here. The texture will change, but it will thicken it up a lot if you do that. I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple tablespoons of vinegar. This will cut through all that really, really rich beef chili flavor we got going in there.
So the cornmeal is to thicken it?
Yeah, you're supposed to mix it with water or broth first, or I could have taken some of this juice out and mix it in there to like thin it out and then pour it in. It's like a slurry.
Okay.
But I just added it directly. I think I did that incorrectly, but it's working. There's little chunks of it in here that are like big chunks. Just mash them up. Oh. And it should thicken this up. Oh yeah, it's starting to get thicker. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little taste first, actually. Some of the broth, the juice. Oh, that's good. It needs a little salt though. This is a weird ingredient that I've seen some people have added. I'm gonna add a little fish sauce for some umami. Go ahead and hate me if you want. I'm gonna add just half or 1 tablespoon. It won't taste like fish sauce. It won't taste like fish. It'll just make it taste a little more in depth, like meaty flavor, just a little bit. Let's do about a little less than a tablespoon. Mix that in. All right, I'm gonna call that good. I don't think we really need to thicken it up that much. Just go ahead and let that sit. I'm gonna give it one more taste for salt. There we go. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's a little hot. Maybe just a touch more salt. Chicken broth wasn't as salty as I thought it would be. Just a splash more vinegar. And that's it. Instant Pot's off. It's just still really hot, so it's simmering. And that's it. We can take it in there and plate it up and try it. Tasting lab once again. We got this delicious plate of chili con carne, Texas chili.
Colorado.
Chili Colorado, where we're from, they called it that. It's basically just, but usually they use pork with that. You can use beef. I think what makes it beef is that the beef is what makes it like chili con carne or Texas chili. So, as you can see, I got a little cheese, got a little cilantro, a little bit of serranos, because it wasn't as hot as I thought it would be. A little bit of onion. I might put a little bit more. So I like onion, and I love cheese. Gotta have cheese. Just a little bit more of cilantro, and I'm gonna go ahead and dig in.
Oh, it looks nuclear.
Yeah, it's not that hot, but I guess we'll find out later how hot it is.
It looks really good though.
This isn't like super duper tender. I could have cooked it longer, so maybe that's one thing I already changed. It's not like super fall apart, but it's got a little bit of texture, but it also falls apart. Let's see. Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't think I'm gonna make chili my other way ever again. This is oh my god! This is so good. look at the salsa. Look how thick and like meaty and chili. Like look how red it is. Like this is it's so good. Where has this been my whole life? This is chili Colorado. I've had that before, but this is like way better. I don't know. Maybe because they didn't actually make it from scratch. I don't know.
Maybe we should call it the greatest dish.
This is up there, like
or something
like
like
I don't.
that.
My chili doesn't take that long to make, but I really like my chili. But oh my god, this is so much better. It just takes a little longer because it's in the pressure cooker, but that also cuts off like hours of time that if you made this on the stove or put it in the oven. Because this meat is like really tough, but it has a really good flavor. Some of the bigger chunks don't break down as well, so cut them up a little smaller and maybe pressure cook for like 50 to 60 minutes if you want it to shred apart. But I kind of want some texture, so I did 40, 42. That's just what number was on my pressure cooker when I turned it on.
That's the answer of everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Like that.
Yeah.
It just shreds apart. It's not super fall apart, which I didn't really want that. I want some texture with my food. Oh god, it's so good. I'm gonna try it on top of the chip now. If I can get it without. Yep, can't. Messed it up. With this piece. There we go. Let's try that. Chips. Tortillas. With tortilla chips, you gotta have them with this. Because it like soaks up all the sauce. And like corn and chilies are like best friends, you know. They gotta work out together.
You put some in there, right?
I put a little bit of that masa, like cornmeal flour, like you make tortillas with. It doesn't have a ton of flavor from that though, because this other stuff is really intense. But I would definitely eat this on top of like a good tortilla, or chips, or Fritos. I have Fritos upstairs.
Does it have to be normal Fritos, or can it be like hot chili Fritos, or like jalapeno Fritos?
Just Frito, whatever flavor of Fritos you like. It doesn't, just not Old Bay Fritos. If they make those, throw them in the garbage. Honestly, I think this is the best thing we made so far. I say that every time, but I'm not joking. This is like, I'm being 100% serious this time. This is amazing. Like, because I love Mexican or Tex-Mex Mexican food. This is the best thing I've made on here of those genres of food styles.
Oh.
This is awesome. And it's supposed to be even better the next day or two because it's like a stew, you know. Stews always taste better the next day. Like imagine the best beef stew you ever had. Throw out all the stupid potatoes and carrots and stuff, and then throw a bunch of chilies in it, and so you just got beef and chilies. This is it. It's basically what it is. It's so good.
Oh my goodness.
My other chili, I usually put a ton of cheese in it because I like a lot of cheese in it. I don't even need any of that. I'm putting it in here because it's in here, and I don't want to throw it back in the bag because it's been sitting out a while. So I'm just eating it because it's here, but it doesn't even need all that. Like it's really good on its own. Let's spin into another Serrano. Okay. Yep. Back off.
Was that fresh Serrano?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you don't want it quite as hot, don't put the fresh chilies on top of it.
Dice them up finer, maybe, because I just put thin slices all over.
So this is we've decided that don't watch the other videos. This is the best thing yet.
I'm sweating because I'm sweating now because it's hot.
So was this dish difficult to make?
I'd say no, not really. Like considering you just gotta have, like I guess the last recipe we made. You gotta have 2 pieces of equipment. Well, last one you use a pressure cooker. You gotta have mainly 1 piece of equipment if you don't have a pressure cooker, and that's a blender or a food processor to blend up all the chilies and stuff. Because if you don't do that, it won't be the same. Like you kind of need that because it adds like body. The chili skins and all the other stuff adds body to the sauce, so it's thicker. You don't have to use a pressure cooker for this. It cuts down on time by like half to a third. 2/3 cuts off like half or 2/3 of the time that it would take if you put it on the stove.
So is this like an intermediate recipe?
I'd say it's in between intermediate and like beginner because the hardest part is if you've never made something like this. You may not know if what you're making is going to turn out well, I guess, which is why you should watch this video because I've never made this before either. And I just trusted it and then let it come together. Followed my set recipe plan from looking at all the other sources I've came up with and did it, and it came out great. I'd say it's about intermediate though, because
I would say
with the equipment, I'd say intermediate.
Yeah, it might be. The other thing,
it's a little daunting for someone.
You got to sear the meat and then cut it and then do the other thing and saute.
Oh, yeah, you can,
and then pour it.
You
out
can make
and
that
blend
easy.
it.
You can make that easier on yourself.
Okay.
I did it in the chunks because if I would have did little bitty pieces at the beginning, I would have had to do like 5 batches or more of like putting some in there, rotating them all, take those out, throw more in there. It would have taken longer to do that than just searing big chunks and then cutting it up. Technically, I do get less seared sides of the meat since I did it that way. If you think about it, I guess maybe because you'll have a little bit more surface area if you cut it up more in little tiny pieces. But in the Instant Pot and pressure cookers that have the saute setting, if you keep searing in that, like that gunk on the bottom that was stuck will eventually start to burn. Like that stuff is like you're just going to keep building up on top of it and the bottom part's going to burn. You don't want that. But if you do it on the stovetop, you can control your heat better. It's just the Instant Pot, you can't control that heat very well.
Is there any sort of different changes or anything you would make differently?
Maybe cut up the pieces after you sear it a little smaller maybe if you want. If you want it to be a little more, it'll be slightly more tender that way. It's pretty tender like it is. But you could also avoid that by turning up the pressure cooker time a little bit. Maybe add 5 or 10 more minutes. If you want it to be shredded, falling apart.
Yeah.
Which I didn't want that. I want some chew with it.
Is there anything else you would get some tortillas? You said
I would get some things to add to this. These chips are good, but I don't want to eat all the chips.
What about some green stuff or like some vegetables or something? Is this an anti-vegetable meal?
I got some cilantro. That's a vegetable. I got some onion. I'm eating like 7 chili peppers right now. Those are vegetables.
You're not supposed to eat those vegetables.
Yeah, you are.
That's why the birds are supposed to eat them.
We adapted and overcame the chili pepper.
Servings. How many servings do you have left?
A lot. I don't know. This is a big bowl. I didn't even finish this. And I'd say probably like 6 or 8.
6 or 8 more bowls?
I'd say probably 6 bowls this size. Well, I made a big bowl. Let's say 5 of this bowl size.
Left, huh?
There's a lot of meat in there. Yeah. I mean, you eat it with tortillas or some people eat it with rice or whatever. Eat it with
that's actually pretty
to stretch it out. Like this is a lot of meat and there's like some fat in here. But it's just really intensely flavored. You eat it with a tortilla, like it's some beans maybe. That's like a complete meal. Like you got everything you need.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, this costs like under $20 for this entire thing, but it's a lot of food. Like this is a lot of food I got left over. I'm gonna have this for like the next 5 days. Like I'm gonna eat it like at least once or twice, maybe once a day. I don't know if I can take more than 2 bowls of this. More than 1 bowl of this a day. This is a lot.
Go check out our other videos. We got other videos. We got Tex-Mex. We got Japanese. We have vegetarian food.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of vegetarian food.
If we don't have what you want to make yet, we're gonna get there.
Tell us to do it.
Yeah,
We'll
tell us
get
what
there.
you want to make.
We're filling this channel out. It's gonna have everything on it.
We're gonna have 3,000 videos by next week. Next
Okay.
year.
Okay, we're just gonna.
Is it hot in here, or is it just food dudes? I don't know. Those food dudes sure are dreamy. Oh, you should really check this other food.
Oh my god, no.
Ooh, it's so hot in here.